In Moonshine Empire, Pappy's holding a competition where the winner will take over the Moonshine Empire. You'll distill moonshine and navigate the swamp, helping locals, avoiding the police and gators, delivering moonshine to customers using a wide array of vehicles. You'll also be collecting money to use at the auctions to win gear and supplies. You also get challenges during the competition that, if completed, will reward you with additional victory points. During each of the 8 rounds, you'll distill new moonshine, acquire new customers, and bid at Pappy's auction, and of course, deliver that amazing moonshine to earn points and win the game.
There are 5 phases in each round of Moonshine Empire. First, you will randomly draw out cubes to determine player order for the round. Along with the player-colored cubes, you will also include the cubes for the police and Pappy's pet gators. Second, you add a new shiner to your camp and assign them to locations. Placing a shiner at a still will produce or upgrade moonshine, and placing at a moonlighting location will generate some cash for you to use at Pappy's auction. Third is the customer order phase. You can take up to 1 order per round. Customer orders will reward you with money, items, and victory points for delivering their requested moonshine to the tavern. You can have up to 3 customer orders at one time, but be careful. Any points from customer orders you're left with at the end of the game will be counted against you in final scoring. In the 4th phase comes Pappy's auction. This auction is done via a blind bid. Players will select the amount of money they'd like to bid, keeping it hidden in their hand. Everyone will reveal their bid simultaneously, and the player that bids the most money gets first pick of the cards available from the auction row. Ties are broken by reverse player order. In the auction, you can win new stills, vehicles, money, vehicle upgrades, additional shiners, and special actions to assist you in the game. Don't spend all of your money on the first auction, because there will be a second auction taking place right after the first. Pappy doesn't like freeloaders, so for each player that thought they could outsmart the system by bidding 0 money, there will be that many less cards available to bid on in the second auction. Now we get to the 5th phase. This is where all of the movement of the players, police, and gators occurs, and the delivery of moonshine happens. Each player has a different payload, movement allowance, and movement restriction. Each shiner can hold 1 moonshine and move 1 space. An ATV can hold 1 shiner and move 3 spaces on land. The pickup truck can hold 2 shiners with an additional 2 moonshine in the back, but they only move 2 spaces on land. The rowboat holds 1 shiner and 1 extra moonshine and moves 1 space on water. Finally, you have the Cadillac of the swamp and my personal favorite, the airboat. This vehicle can hold a new shiner and extra moonshine like the rowboat, but it can move 2 spaces on land or water. As you're using these vehicles in your delivery of moonshine, you can chain your movements together between vehicles. You can navigate your rowboat to a waiting truck and transfer your shiners and cargo and continue moving your truck to the tavern to make the delivery. Be cautious, however. Any unattended vehicles can be used by any other player, and if they're left in the path of the police, they're going to be hauled away and off to the supply. As you're moving around the swamp, you will encounter the locals that call the swamp their home. These locals may help or hinder you, but regardless of their requirements, for every local you help, Pappy will reward you with victory points based on how many you've completed. The final obstacle before delivering your moonshine comes from the police and gators that patrol the area around Pappy's tavern. The police will detain and confiscate shiners and moonshine that crosses their path, but they're not opposed to a small bribe to look the other way. The gators are out to eat you, but they love moonshine as much as anyone and will settle for a jug of shine instead of eating you. Any shiners or vehicles that end their movement on the tavern are returned to the supply. After the 8th and final round, count up all your victory points from the delivered moonshine, customers, swamp tiles, challenges, and cash. Whoever has the most points wins. This game also includes a solo mode with several challenge goals to attempt when delivering moonshine alone. Alright guys, final thoughts time on Moonshine Empire. First off, we were not paid in any way to say any of these things. These are our opinions and our opinions only. Yes. And please remember, this is a prototype copy. Images,
Not completed.
Components, all those things may not be completed. Rules, for instance, those might not be completed. So don't take this as a final rules video if you're watching it after the Kickstarter has hopefully funded. Because, guys, I like this one a lot.
Wow, I didn't even realize I liked Pick Up and Deliver this much. Like, we started playing them. It is so fun. It is a fantastic, very smooth, very well thought out game. We had a friend over and we started picking through the parts and just seeing all that there was to it. And when you're in a game playing with all those little pieces, the way that they connect, like as far as your movement goes, being able to take, 3 spaces in your ATV and then jump in the airboat and then take that a few spaces, and then your guy can also take 1 space.
Yes.
I loved that chain movement.
The chain movement was my favorite part of this game by far.
Cool.
Exactly what you said. You can have like a boat sitting there waiting and just do this like jeep to boat to land kind of chain movement to get across the swamp and deliver your moonshine. However, you need to be careful where you leave
Watch your back,
vehicles, because vehicles in this game are not owned by anybody.
Right.
So you can have them stolen, essentially. Well, I guess it's just kind of like a company, open ride for everyone.
Yeah.
And anybody can come over and steal that boat or that.
Yeah, and there's so much angst in that, because we had a few times in the game when I'm like, I need to make this delivery, but there's like 2 other people by me, and I got moonshine left in the back of that truck. Right. They get in there and get that truck, that's gonna be their moonshine.
Right. Now, if you're in the truck and that, it's not. They can't just take it from you. There's no hold-ups in this game. There's no stick-ups or anything. There's no guns or knives or anything like that.
But there are inner tubes. There's an inner tube where one of the people we were playing with, her character was like floating in the swamp, and just the laughter, man.
We had so much fun. I mean, just doing some stupid voices in this game. Just the game facilitates so much of just fun, and there's just little subtle funniness in it with the different upgrades that you can get for vehicles. One of them is you can duct tape a cooler to the back of your ATV so you can carry an extra moonshine with you.
Brilliant.
So funny without being like, hey, we're funny, everybody.
Right.
It's a subtle funny that really gets you into the immersion of the theme and really have a great time with
thematic.
it. Yeah.
Super duper.
Yeah.
Even like feeding the crocs.
Moonshine. Granted, I've never slung moonshine before, so how much of this is really real, I don't know. But like in the fictional, cartoonal world of moonshining, this is exactly what I would expect.
Exactly. I love it so much we're actually having people over tonight to play it before we have to send along this prototype copy. I will be sad to see it go.
I'm going to also.
I think this is something I might like to have in our collection.
I think this is going to be one. Yeah, this is going to be one to get. It's like I said, it's silly. It's got enough strategy to it without being too complicated. The games go pretty quick. I mean, our 4-player game first time took us a little over 2 hours, but some of us were going pretty slow.
Very slow. We were learning it.
Learning rules and checking rules and things. Yeah. So I think this was going to be a pretty sappy one once you get used to it. Even after a play or two, I think it's going to be plenty of time to get used to it and get this game played and quickly in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Love it. So good.
Yep. So it is coming out on March 17th?
March 17th is the Kickstarter date.
March 17th of 2020 is when the Kickstarter goes live. We do encourage you to go and check it out.
Yeah, we do.
Based off of our opinion.
Yeah.
And our opinion only. No monies. No nothing, all right?
We ain't got nothing.
This is our own free will. We are not handcuffed in any way to comment
saying nice
on this
things.
video. Okay?
That's just how much we love the game, so.
Check this one out for sure, and we will see you on the next review.